as they wandered, Bill was dreaming about this and that when he thought he could hear the sound of distant music. And after they'd walked on a little further, they came upon a musician playing an old concertina. At first, he didn't see them, as he was so engrossed in his music. So, Bill shouted, "Hello!" And the musician looked up. He said, "I suppose you are wondering what I'm doing, sitting all alone on the downs playing my old concertina?" "Yes, we were rather," said Bill. "Well," said the musician sadly, "it happened this way. Ever since I can remember, music has been my life. My greatest ambition was to write a wonderful symphony and to hear it played by a huge orchestra in a concert hall packed with admiring music lovers. For years I worked through the night until I had composed the most daring, most inventive, most beautiful symphony imaginable. It was brilliant. Everyone told me so, and I knew it myself. Eventually, I was given the opportunity of hearing my work performed. It was not only to be played by a vast orchestra in an enormous auditorium, but I was to conduct the piece myself. The weeks before the performance, people queued at the box office for tickets. And by the time that glorious evening arrived, every seat was taken. I can hardly describe my feelings as I walked out onto the stage to the applause of that adoring audience. I bowed before a sea of eager faces. "I can just picture the scene," said Chad. "As I turned to the orchestra and opened my score, I could no longer contain my emotion. Huge tears of pure joy welled up in my eyes, and as the orchestra tuned their instruments to the note of A, the droplets trickled down my face in torrents. I tapped the music stand with my baton and looked down at the opening bars of my wonderful score. To my horror, my tears had fallen onto my music sheets and reduced those precious notes to rivers of blue ink. After a dreadful pause, I fled from the auditorium amid a tasteless chorus of boos and shouts. I don't think I shall ever be able to face an audience ever again, which is a shame, actually, for I've composed a new symphony even more delightful than my last." Boadicea, moved by his story, said, "If you play your old concertina, we will accompany you on whatever instruments we can make." "A very splendid idea," replied the musician. "But who will conduct?" Bill thought for a moment and came up with an excellent device, which instantly solved the problem. However, the result was unharmonious and awful. So, they all promised to find a new orchestra for the frustrated musician. And they left on a remarkable journey across the downs.